Look, what happens when BTS turns a world-famous museum into a stage? Tonight, we watch a band that's been through a 7-year marathon reinvent the live set in a place built for dead, quiet contemplation, and somehow make it pulse with life. Hey everyone, I'm Your Name, and today we're breaking down BTS's Guggenheim performance of Swim from their Arirang era. This isn't a simple concert recap. It's a study in brand, resilience, and how a group that's been quiet for a bit still bends the cultural rope with intention. Let's dive in. The scene is deliberate. Instead of the Tonight Show studio, BTS occupies the Guggenheim, an architectural cathedral of art, moving across levels before a circular ground floor convergence. What makes this matter isn't just the location, it's what that choice signals. A willingness to fuse high culture with pop spectacle, to remind the world that their art belongs in rooms of serious reflection as well as stadiums of frenzy. Personally, I think this signals a maturation in how pop acts can leverage prestige spaces to elevate storytelling, not just stagecraft. First core idea: Swim is a philosophy, not just a song. The track is described as reflective with a propulsive beat, a paradox that mirrors BTS's career arc, moments of introspection wrapped in an energy that won't quit. My take: this isn't about being soft or softness as a label. It's about choosing momentum while facing weighty themes like perseverance and hope. What makes this really interesting is how the chorus of endurance lands in a live setting designed to push the audience's senses, sound, sight, architecture, all feeding the message that life's tides are real, but you can still swim through them. What this implies is a bridge between personal resilience and collective momentum. Its art is self-help with a beat. Second idea: the extended reunion moment as subtext. RM's comment about time stopping during military service is more than a punchline. It frames a veteran comeback narrative. Space, time, and identity compress back into a single moment when the group reemerges. In my opinion, the longer hiatus doesn't erode their edge, it compounds it. Jin's "reunited with family" line lands not just as warmth, but as a reminder that BTS's strength has always been their bonds, an asset that translates into synchronized live dynamics and a rare trust on stage. From my perspective, the reunion becomes a case study in how long breaks can be reframed as recalibration rather than decay, turning anticipation into renewed cultural currency. Third idea: the Arirang thread as cultural diplomacy. The album's title nods to a Korean folk tune, and RM's explanation frames Arirang as a vessel for broad emotion, joy, sorrow, resistance. One thing that immediately stands out is how BTS positions themselves as global ambassadors who still anchor their art in Korean heritage. What many people don't realize is that this duality, the universal appeal plus local roots, gives their work a durability that transcends trends. If you take a step back and think about it, Arirang becomes less about a collection of tracks and more about a strategic manifest, to make Korean emotions legible to the world without diluting their specificity. Fourth idea: the interview as transparency, not PR fluff. Fallon prompts with curiosity about meanings behind songs, and BTS responds with a mix of philosophy and personal insight. This isn't just hype, it's a deliberate education of a global audience. What this really suggests is how pop acts can cultivate audience intelligence, offering listeners tools to read between the lines rather than absorbing surface narratives. A detail I find fascinating is how they balance ambition with humility, giving fans a backstage map of how songs are built and why decisions feel intimate rather than performative. Deeper insight: crafting a modern megastar arc in an era of streaming fatigue. BTS's approach, the museum stage, the lyrical depth, the LA house bonding retreat, the Netflix documentary, reads like a playbook for sustaining relevance. From my perspective, the key pattern is intentional pacing. Hit with a high-concept venue, deliver a reflective lead single, then deepen the story through documentary and live-scale touring. It's not just about the music. It's about curating an evolving narrative that invites fans to follow along as co-authors of the journey. This raises a deeper question. In a media ecosystem that rewards constant flux, how do you sustain momentum without burning out your core message? Closing thought. This isn't just a comeback. It's a case study in cultural multiplexity. BTS is leaning into public discourse about time, memory, and national identity while proving they can still surprise with a fresh stagecraft concept. If you're watching this as a fan or as a cultural observer, the takeaway isn't simply that they're back with a new album. It's that they're modeling how to grow responsibly under the microscope, without surrendering the things that made millions fall in love in the first place. So I'll leave you with this. What does a globally beloved band owe their audience as they mature? And how do they balance reverence for their roots with the impulse to reinvent? Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you like a version tailored for a shorter YouTube short? Or a longer deep dive video with more granular breakdowns of each track on Arirang?